Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. This is the third session in our Prep Power Hour series. If you've been here with us for the earlier sessions, you already know how this works. If you're joining us for the first time, here's what you can expect. So each month we are focusing on real accessibility challenges, and we'll be walking you through how Prep solves them in practical day-to-day workflows. So this series is not about theory or generic compliance conversations. It's about actual documents and workflows teams that teams deal with day in, day out. So far, in the previous sessions, we've looked at document remediation from a hands-on, tool-based perspective approach, where we showcase the powers of prep, the cool features it has, and also we talked about templates, how you can bulk upload and bulk tag multiple documents at once if they are following the same or a similar structure. And today we are taking that a step further. We are going to talk about how accessibility can move upstream directly into your systems and workflows using Prep APIs. So glad to have you here. And just as important, we want this to be useful for you. Feel free to drop your questions or challenges in the chat as we go. The more interactive this is, the more valuable it will be for everyone. So quick housekeeping slide. So before we start, just wanted to make sure we share a few quick notes. So closed captions are available. We've enabled them, but you can also toggle them on from your toolbar. We are also recording today's webinar, so the recording will be shared with all the registrants in the next few days, along with the accessible version of the presentation deck. And please feel free to type in your questions in the Q&A section on Zoom at any time. We'll address them during the Q&A if it's relevant to what we are discussing, or we'll definitely plan to spend the last 10 to 15 minutes focusing on your questions. And if you have any specific questions or detailed question, we'll also share a contact information so you can reach out to us directly. And also, if you don't get to all the questions with the limited time, we'll be following up with the FAQ document so that no question is being missed. So today's webinar, the agenda for today is we'll quickly recap where we are in terms of document accessibility, how it's being scaled, automation. Then we'll dive into Prep APIs and show you the real world use cases, how you can integrate it to your workflows. And then we also have a surprise at the end. It's an exciting integration that Continual Engine team is really excited about, that we will be releasing it in a few weeks' time. But just to give you a teaser of that, if you stay till the end, it's a really exciting surprise. And then we'll be closing in how you can integrate it with your workflows. So before we get into the Prep APIs, just briefly walking you through who we are, what we do, if you are hearing us about for the first time. So we are an award-winning organization, AI-powered digital accessibility service provider. So you work with organizations and education institutes globally to make digital content accessible at scale without slowing the teams down. Our offerings span the full accessibility lifecycle that includes website accessibility audits, remediation of websites, documents, PDF remediation, of course, accessible ebooks, ebooks, video captioning, audio descriptions, image accessibility. So anything that is digitally present in front of your screens, we have the tools or services to make that content accessible. And at the center of the ecosystem is Prep, of course, our PDF document remediation platform, which is built to simplify and accelerate document accessibility. It combines the proprietary AI with human expertise to remediate PDFs and other documents efficiently, and also handle complex structures at scale. So I am Shubham Doval. I lead the client excellence at Continual Engine. My role sits right between product, service, and clients. So what I'll be sharing today comes directly from what we see universities and accessibility teams are struggling with every single day. So talking about the accessibility problem at scale, I know we are all aware about this, so we won't be spending a lot of the time here. But for the digital content volumes, we all know are exploding. Every department is publishing more documents, more reports, more course materials, more policies. So what this really means is that problem is compounding. If accessibility isn't built into the workflow, the backlog will keep on growing and growing. And at the same time, expectations are tightening. This isn't just about practice anymore. We see the Title 2 guidelines and deadlines coming in. So we have to make sure we are compliant with that. And the European Accessibility Act as well, from if any one of you are from Europe, so they are also raising the bar. So they're no longer just asking whether you tried, whether you've made efforts or not. They're asking whether your digital content is actually usable and compliant. And where the risk is becoming real is inaccessible PDFs are no longer invisible. So they are discoverable, testable, and also measurable if they are compliant or not. And if a document fails the basic structure or tagging checks, then that's not just a theoretical risk, that's a large non-compliance. So the real question is, of course, we care about accessibility, but do we have visibility into where we stand? And talking about why manual remediation is not scaling or have problems in scaling is because most teams are dealing with hundreds and thousands of documents. So the sheer volume is creating always creates a big issue, and even small time per file when you are making it accessible adds up fast and makes it a really long task for you to remediate. Then distribution creation. So distributed creation. So content comes from multiple teams. It's not just one single team that's creating the content. There are multiple teams in your organizations creating varying level of accessibility awareness, which leads to basically inconsistency in the work that you are doing. And then, of course, there are legacy documents. The documents that you've created in the past, making them accessible is a big, big task because the kind of structure they have, if they are scanned documents, so that's another problem. They take a lot more significant effort and time from your end to fix. And on top of them, or on top of all of this, remediation itself isn't, time insensitive. Tagging, reading order, all takes validation, color contrast, everything. It's detailed work that does not just moves quickly. And also, the last word is limited expertise. So, accessibility of knowledge is not something that's widespread. Everyone knows about this. It's most of the users are still learning what accessibility is, what accessible documents are, and how to make them accessible. It's again another chapter altogether. So, where while manual remediation is in small pockets, becomes really hard to sustain at scale. And this is where automation can fit in. So automation fits in by taking on the repetitive, high volume parts of accessibility work so teams can move faster and stay consistent. So automated tagging helps structure documents quickly, while automated checks identify issues early instead of after the fact. And when this is integrated directly into your publishing workflows where documents are being created or stored, accessibility becomes the part of the process and rather than an artifact. And most importantly, it shifts accessibility closer to the point of document creation where it's easier, faster, and far more scalable to get it right after it's being spread across the teams. And this is where Prep API comes in. So what APIs basically are, the simple way to think about it is they are AI powered accessibility service that plugs directly into your systems and take care of the heavy lifting behind the scenes. So instead of manually fixing the documents, your platforms can automatically process them for accessibility as part of the workflow. And at a core level, they handle basically the things like document structures, reading orders, also have the capability to create all text for any kind of STEM image or non-STEM image. Images are being auto-detected, and then it can be supported at scale. And because everything is delivered through REST APIs, it's flexible. You can integrate it with your LMS, CMS, your publishing pipelines, or any document workflow you have in place. And we have a brief demo of the REST API workflow as well, which we are really excited to show you. But who prep APIs are basically designed for? So they're built for teams that need to embed accessibility directly into their streams and workflows. So this includes developers and platforms engineering teams looking to automate remediation at scale, LMS and CMS providers aiming to offer accessibility content natively, and also publishing systems or document repositories which are already managing high volumes of files. So it's specifically relevant for organizations handling large complex document ecosystem where manual process simply can't keep up. So talking about the different API suite that we have. So we have the three prep APIs, and then there are two additional APIs that relate to the other products of Continual Engine, but we just wanted to introduce that as well. So the auto tag API, the first API, it handles end-to-end PDF tagging with a zero-touch approach, making documents structured and accessible as soon as they enter or exit your system. Then we have the checker API that runs automated checks on which is compliant with WCAG and PDF UA standards. And it also gives you a report to make sure that you have a valid proof of the document's accessibility. And then we have the bulk tag or template API that allows you to tag multiple documents at once if they are following the same structure or a similar structure. And with this template API, we are able to achieve 100% compliance as well. So even if the documents are not exactly the same structure, but they have a similar structure, we are able to make sure that the documents are being auto tagged with the templatization of the models that we have to make sure that we are reaching 100% compliance with just one click. We did cover the templates in the previous session, so if you're interested in that, let us know. And then the non-prep APIs, which is taking you away from document accessibility just for a moment, is the web and interface level testing, which is the continually audit APIs, which provides instant page level accessibility insights for developers, QA, and designers for your web pages, your websites. And then we have the Invicta alt text API as well that uses AI to generate high quality alt text for everything from a simple image to a complex visual or a STEM formula. And this Invicta API, the alt text API, has also been integrated inside Prep auto tag API so that once the document is being auto tagged, the alt text is also being automatically created. So the key capabilities of the APIs, and again, briefly spending a few seconds here. So Prep APIs are designed to handle a core accessibility workflow at scale. So automatically, it tags the structures, headings, paragraphs, tables detection, list detections, all of that is automatically done. And the reading order also it's taken care of. The alt text is being automatically generated. So we have integrated our again, everything, the APIs that we listed in the previous slide, everything is in-house by developed by Continual Engine. So that has also been integrated with the auto tag APIs to alt text, and contextually accurate alt text is also being created at the time of auto tagging. And then with the checker APIs, you are able to identify issues as well, which are again compliant with the leading standards out there. And then the documents are being able to processed quickly. So and depending on your specific need, we can scale the APIs as well. So if you have a really large need, you want to process multiple documents at once, we have the option to do that as well. And the kind of documents that are best suited for our APIs. So, of course, the documents that are in high in volumes, sort of the repeatable structure where automation can drive real efficiency, those kind of documents can really be highly accurate with our API. So this includes your academic material, the government documents, reports, lab manuals that you have, policy content, and as well as files exported. So if you have a document repository there, the documents present there in your CMS, LMS platforms, or large document repositories, they are also ideal options for Prep APIs. And in terms of complexity, Prep APIs are highly effective for simple text-heavy documents and also for medium complexity files, which includes tables, lists, formulas. When the document becomes scanned, of course, Prep APIs will do its job on that as well, but the accuracy, because of the scanned content quality, can vary. And also for really complex tables with multiple tables, super complex tables. The reading order is really messed up. So those kind of documents might not give you the best accuracy. But for simple text-heavy documents and medium documents with tables, list, your basic, your generic content, which is something that is present in most of the documents, prep APIs will perform well on that. So the talking and going a little into the technical details or technicalities of prep APIs, the automation architecture. And again, we won't be spending a lot of time here, but this is the REST API workflow, how that works. It can be on premises or on the cloud as well. This is the basic process, and we'll of course share the slide. So rather than showing you the process or walking through the process, I'll quickly show you a video of how the prep API would work. So we are showing this video in the Postman application, but this is something that the technical people can really get help from. And then I'm just going to share the sound and start playing the video.
Welcome to this video on remediating documents using Prep Auto Tag APIs. In this tutorial, we will use the Postman interface to demonstrate how Prep's Auto Tag REST APIs can be used to automatically tag a document in a jiffy. First, import the provided auto tag curl command into Postman. Once imported, open the request and configure the required parameters. Go to the Body tab and configure the following. In the PDF1 key, click Select Files and upload the PDF you want to remediate. Make sure the auto_tag key is set to true. Also verify that the API ID and app key headers are correctly added. Once everything is set, click Send. After sending the request, you will receive a response. From the response, copy the process ID. We will use this ID to check the remediation status. Next, import the check status curl command. Open the request, and in the body, replace the existing process ID with the one you copied. Click Send. If the status shows processing, wait a few seconds and send the request again. Once completed, the response will contain a downloadable link for the remediated PDF. Download the file. Now we will use Prep to check how the PDF has been tagged. For this, upload the remediated document into Prep using the Load Tagged PDF option.
So the load tag PDF option allows you to import a file which already has existing tags. So this way, Prep does not do anything on it. Whatever tags are there in the document can be directly uploaded on Prep.
Once loaded, review the tag structure in the tag editor. You will see that the document is properly tagged, with correct structural elements applied automatically. This is how Prep's Auto Tag REST APIs can be used to automatically remediate and tag documents quickly and easily. It is especially useful for automation and large-scale document processing. That's it.
Great. So this was how it would work for your technical teams, but don't worry, we have a demo for users who would like to use a portal to do all of this, where you just have to upload and download a document. So we have an upcoming demo for that as well today. But this was just to show you how the technicalities of the Prep APIs work. This is something that you can share with your technical teams if you want this to be integrated in your existing workflows. So now we'll move on to how a portal can be given to your teams, where you can simply upload and download a document. So here, your teams can simply get a document where, or rather a portal where you just have to log in with the user credentials we provide. You'll get a portal where you can upload files. And again, this is where you can upload multiple files or templatized files or scanned files, any of those kind of documents. You simply upload a document and click on upload file. And this will take you through the prep auto tag. Or this is basically the orders that you have given to us, or rather uploaded on the portal a while back. So you have that order screen as well. Let me just upload this file. But I believe we do have a question. So how many documents can I upload at a time? So thanks a lot for that question, Lonara. So by default, we allow you to upload 5 to 10 documents at a time. But of course, this is the standard set for prep APIs. You can, of course, if there's more documents that you need to be uploaded, that you need to upload, or more documents you can tag, we can definitely scale according to your needs. So depending on your needs, how large your needs are, we can make sure our APIs are scalable to handle all of those. So this is the document that I have currently uploaded. It's currently in progress. So it's like an 8-pager document, medium complexity. So it will take a few seconds to tag. And once it's tagged, so you will have this download remediated file option. And this, so once you're working with bulk files, multiple files, you can upload all of the files at once. And then once that is processed, you will get an email notification that your order is ready to download. So you don't have to wait on the portal to see if the order is updated or not. You will get email notifications. So once that's done, let me just download the file. And then I will upload this file into the prep platform. Now I've switched onto the prep platform. If you are seeing this platform for the first time, so this is basically the dashboard of prep. It gives you the information for you to track documents. If you are interested in a demo, of course, reach out to us. We've done previous sessions on the prep overview as well, but we'd be happy to do and walk you through prep, a customized session for your teams as well. So I'm just uploading that document and clicking on load tagged PDF so that it uploads all the tags that I have in the document. So I believe we have a question from Erin as well. So does the API allows us to crawl? So I say I have an online repository. I want the tool to crawl, grab the files, download and send. Can I set that up? Erin, yes, you can. Prep alone Prep API alone, the AutoTag API cannot do this. But as I said, we have a continually API as well, the website audit API. That is where that API would come in, do its job of crawling, identifying the inaccessible PDF. And from there, that portal, you can send them to Prep APIs to make sure that they are accessible. So this is, of course, something that we can do, and we can create a portal for you as well. And again, we have another question. So for remediating, I use the portal, and for validating, I use the dashboard. Yes, that's correct, Lunara. For remediating, you use our APIs. For validating, you can use prep. So this is the document we just worked on. So this is basically the table of content that has been tagged, heading 1. So let's say there's an image in the background. This needs, fixing. So I can just simply delete it. And let me just take you to a better page, or a more complex page where we have a few lists. We have another question from Lunara. Can I use the APIs with the regular license? So yes, if you are our existing customer, you can use them simultaneously. It has a different structure of pricing. So of course, we can discuss that later. But yes, that is how Prep APIs can be used. We have this list structure where list has been tagged, and how I can make sure this nested list is accurately tagged is because this this each layer of the list has its own separate color. So the third layer is pink color, the middle layer is green color, the first layer is blue color. So I can make sure that this is accurately tagged. So again, quickly reviewing that page and now coming onto this page. So again, tables are something that has been automatically tagged. So we have the table headers, and then table datas as well. And these have been automatically tagged as well. And reading order is also something that prep takes care of. So we have this 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it goes from left to right and top to bottom. So even that portion of the tagging has been taken care by prep. Let me just move on to the next page where we have an image. So if there is a link or a reference in a page, prep will automatically tag that as well. And also group it inside its parent paragraph, just to make sure that the structural compliance is also met. So we have that here as well. And if I scroll down this image, you can simply go to this alt text checkbox to check if the alt text has been created. So we create a simple alt text, a simple to medium length alt text for any kind of image. So that is what we've done here. And I'm just going to paste it in the chat so that you all have quick access to this alt text and see if it is accurate or not. But yeah, if you want any, retuning to the alt text, you can always do so. You can add content, edit content here, or also from the image category. So those of you who are seeing this for the first time, you can create automated alt text on prep itself. So let's say give a textual description. I need, let's say, a detailed description where there are values in front of each of this state. So I can always say give a detailed textual description with values for each graph. And again, within a few seconds, prep will automatically create alt text for this image. So again, prep APIs has done their job. We are just reviewing it, making changes wherever needed. So this alt text, the detailed alt text has also been created. Let me paste that in the chat. So now we have values in front of each of those bars as well. Great. And once that's done, and of course, we have a screen reader output as well, which allows you to review a document, how it would be read by the screen reader. So let me just show you that as well. So this is basically compatible with JAWS and NVDA. So you have that option as well. Yes, we have a question from Stephanie, and this is again an interesting question. Is there a way to download the alt text in bulk for a SME to review outside of prep? Yes, we have that option. But first, I'll just show you this, Stephanie. So this is the preview option. It gives you the structure, how the page is structured, the content is structured. Each type of content will have its own view in the preview. So we have a heading level 3 here, which is a larger, a bolder font. Then we have a paragraph here, a smaller font. Then we have a few link options here, which are basically the links. So it gives you that blue, the link, universal link color of blue. And if you hover your mouse over it, you will also see where that link is taking you to. And then if you see, this is in a different color. So this is the alt text. This is not in the PDF, so that users can understand this is outside the PDF. It's the alt text. And then we have here, which is the footnote, which is again in a different font. So again, preview shows you how your document would be for end user. So the end user experience is also taken care by the tool. And in the export option, Stephanie, if this is something that you need for your accounts, you have an option which can say downloaded PDF images to Excel. So all the images and their alt text would be in an Excel format, which you can share with your teams to review them. And this will also have, in one column, there would be images, and in the other column, there would be alt text. So it will be right in next to each other so users can quickly review it. And then with the APIs, we do have the inbuilt checker API as well, but we'll just show you the document-wise check here on the Prep platform. So 99% of the checkpoints have been passed. If there are any issues, so there are these syntax issues, an issue with the table. So this is where you can, again, go back to that table and fix those issues. And then you also have the option to download the checker report. So you can either download the WCAG report, the PDF UA report, or an all check report, depending on your requirements. And same for the compliance mode. You can select the compliance mode you want to achieve. So WCAG or PDF UA, you have the option to do both. Great. Now, going back to the text. So this is how simply you can upload multiple documents at once, export them from Prep. This can work for scanned documents as well. For text-heavy document, it works great. We'll be introducing formula auto tagging as well. So for STEM content document as well, it will auto tag and create all text automatically. Great. And now the surprise that we said at the end of the session or near to the end of the session is the Canvas LTI demo. So we have recently integrated the Prep interface with Canvas with the LTI integration, showing you how that works. So let me just briefly walk you through. And we have this video here that walks you through how it can be for your teams if you're using Canvas. And this is something that will be basically with every other interface as well. So we're just showing you a Canvas demo, but it works similarly for Brightspace, Blackboard, Moodle. So if you're using different LMSs, the LTI integration would work in a similar way.
Welcome to this tutorial on Canvas LTI integration with Prep Auto Tag. First, log into the Canvas environment. From the side panel, open the Courses menu and navigate to the required course module. On the page, click the menu button and select Prep Auto Tag. A list of files available in the selected module will appear. Select the files you want to remediate and click the Tag Selected Files button.
So this is where you went to your course, went to the Prep Auto Tag area, and selecting the files that you want to make accessible. So you can select multiple files here as well, and just select or click on this Tag Selected File option, and it will auto tag the files that you have selected.
The selected files will be sent to Prep, where they will be automatically tagged. The page will also display the processing status of each file. Once the process is complete, the remediated files will also be saved in the Canvas environment.
So once the file is auto tagged, you can simply download the tagged file from here. Or if you want to fix it on Prep, you always have the option to click this review and fix, and it will take you to your Prep account. So within this canvas, your faculties or your teams can simply tag a document, download it, see it, how it's tagged, or if they want to review and fix it, they can simply click on this icon, open, and it will redirect them to the Prep interface where they can make the minor changes that are needed.
To access them, go to the Files section and check the defined path where the tagged files are stored. Tagged files can either replace the original file or be saved as a copy within the same folder structure. This behavior can be configured during onboarding. Users can also review and fix.
So once the file is tagged, it's time to send the file back. So depending on your needs, if you need the file to replace the existing file, that is also possible. If you want to create an existing copy, that's also possible. If you want to save an existing copy in a separate folder, that is also possible. So depending on how you want to store your accessible files, our APIs are structured and agile to make sure that we meet your requirements.
The original file or be saved as a copy within the same folder structure. This behavior can be configured during onboarding. Users can also review and fix the tagged file in the Prep Tag Editor by clicking Open under Review and Fix.
So within one click, you can simply go to your prep account with SSO integration that we allow. Your accounts can be created on the fly as well, and the user can quickly review it on prep to make sure everything is accessible.
Also, the file can be downloaded by clicking the download icon. That's it. You've successfully used the Canvas LTI integration with Prep Auto Tag.
Great. And I also wanted to walk you through one more piece of information is how we can create a simplified portal for your teams. So with the different capability options we have the prep tool that allows you to do in-house remediation, prep APIs that allows you to do automated remediation within your document repositories or wherever documents are stored, and the remediation services option because we have a outsourcing team as well. So what we can do, and we have been doing for some institutions, is creating one simple portal for all your document accessibility needs. So creating one complete ecosystem. So one portal which allows you to log in with SSO integration. And once you log in, you see the prep APIs or as an option. So for your simple or medium complexity documents, you can use prep APIs to auto tag them. And then you'll see another option which says prep tool. So for doing those documents in-house, if you need to, if there are a little over medium complexity towards that, complex nature, you can do them in-house. And for those documents which are really complex, you don't have the bandwidth or the time to work on, you can use the remediation services through that one portal itself. So once you log in, depending on how you want to work on the document, you will get these three options. Now, this adoption can be made easier with, of course, our trainings that we will provide your teams on. With SSO login, integration or account creation will be done on the fly. With LMS integration, we'll be able to make sure that your documents easily come into the prep ecosystem and move out in an accessible format without you switching on different tabs or different applications. And if your documents are stored in a document repository or a website where you're not sure, you're unaware how many of those are accessible or needs accessibility, we can integrate this interface with our PDF audit tool as well, or rather the PDF audit API, which will basically crawl your website, web pages, or document repositories, give you a report of the inaccessible documents. And from there, you can select those documents that you want to work on, bring them to this interface, and upload them in any of the methods that you'd like to. So this whole ecosystem of making PDFs accessible, which was difficult and you were unaware of how to scale them, that this is simplified with one portal that can answer all your questions. You don't have to pick all three for this portal. You can either pick one of the three, or two of the three, or all three, depending on what your needs are. And then we have a question, and I'll again put some time on questions as well. So we have a question from Erin. In order for faculty to remediate the materials, would they need their own account or seat in prep? So say we have 500 faculty and we want them to have access to review and fix, would we need 500 seats? Erin, this is a great question. We can definitely discuss this after the call. You can please expect an answer for this from us separately. We have a question from Victoria. How does Prep handle LaTeX in STEM documents? So we have the option to create LaTeX for STEM content as well. And let me just show you that if I have a document here. And let me just look for a math document. So let's say you want your documents to not create alt text for STEM content, but let's say LaTeX or Math ML. So we have the option for that as well. So this is a formula, and let me just tag this as a formula. And you can simply go to this alt text option. From the drop-down category, we have Math ML or LaTeX as an option. Let's say this should be LaTeX, so you can simply generate the LaTeX of it. And this was for a simple formula, but we can do that for a complex formula as well. So let me just create LaTeX for this formula. So we have that LaTeX created here as well. Great. We have another question from Leonara. So what can you do with Prep API that with Prep is not possible? So the best way to answer this is Prep API allows you to do remediation or accessibility then and there where documents are stored. So it basically simplifies for you to tag your documents without carrying them to a different repository. Everything can be done in where your documents are currently stored. Second, you can easily create reports from there as well, seeing how many documents are inaccessible and target those documents as well. So creating a simplified system where you can auto tag documents within their current storage place is what Prep APIs allows you to do. Can you explain how the crawling works again? Yes, so basically what Prep or our PDF audit tool does is basically crawls your website and only targets accessible and inaccessible PDFs, basically targeting PDFs. It will show you what the PDFs are or where they are stored, what's their accessibility score, and what you need to do in order to fix them. You can also download a checker report for each of those files. And there you can get an option as well for you to import those documents to the interface that I just showed you. Victoria, we can also share a video with you of how that works, how that process would work. We have a question from Lonara. Do I have to pay more for crawling of the website? Yes. As this is a separate API that we'll be providing, this is an additional cost. We have another question from Victoria. Is crawling process within the LMS such as a Canvas course? We can provide that as well to make sure that you can audit your document repositories. Victoria, again, we can share some information on this after the session. We have another question from Leonara, and thank you for asking these interesting questions. So how many APIs do you have? So let me just walk you or take you back to the API slide. So in total, we have 5 APIs, 3 relate to documents and 2, one is audit API for document audits or any kind of web page audit. And then you have the alt text API as well to create STEM content. But we have the auto tag API when it comes to document for tagging. We have the checker API to check against WCAG PDF UA standards. Then we have the template API, which targets your similarly or exactly the same structured documents. Great. We do still have some time on our hands, so we would welcome more questions. Uh, we have another question, so but we can have some of that functionality also on the tool. So, Leonardo, if you are addressing the functionality of, and let me just see your last question, uh, is for APIs. Yes, you can. The template API can be created or can be plugged into your prep accounts as well. The crawling is something that would be separate, that cannot be currently in the prep tool, but it can be linked to prep tool. The remediation services again is something that can be done through the tool itself. We have a question from Erin. What's the best way to contact you all for interest info about the API services? Erin, you can reach out to me. We'll shortly share my contact details, and you can reach out to me to discuss further. We have a question. Can you go through the process of remediating content in Canvas again and talk about the option of using APIs or prep tools? Yes, of course. So let me just take you to the video as well. So basically how this will work is, and I'll play this on mute and just you'll have to hear my voice as the voiceover for this. You basically walk into or log into your prep account, look for the course that you want to remediate, find that course where it is, and in the options, you will have the prep auto tag option. And this can be enabled to your accounts. So once you are there, you can select the files that are in that Python course that we selected. Select the files that you want to remediate and click on tag selected files. These will be tagged by prep. Accessible files can be downloaded here. And if you want to complete remediation or look for any of the issues in the file, you can click on review and fix, and it will take you to your prep account. Now, what we can add here is, because we have the accessibility checker API, is another column here, which will basically give you the accessibility score, so that if it's 100%, you don't have to go into the file and check it. So that is the kind of customization we can, of course, do for your teams. A simple column here, which gives you the accessibility score, how it is compliant or how much it is compliant with the WCAG PDF UA guidelines for you to test and make decisions accordingly. Great. Yes. So let me just. So we have
Welcome to
another
the
question. So can you talk about the option of using APIs or the prep tool? Yes, of course. So APIs, uh, when you want to you use prep APIs when you have a large set of documents, you want to auto tag majority of them. And then once they are needed for the end user, that is when you target them and complete that remaining portion of the remediation. Now, prep APIs are highly accurate when it comes to text heavy documents. There is greater, really high accuracy that we've seen when it comes to simple to medium complexity documents. For those kind of documents, prep APIs can be the best option. For prep tool, when the complexity is increasing, where there is a little more manual review required, that is where prep tool can come in and make sure that those documents which are which has a lot of tables, a lot of complex lists or list inside tables, those kind of content are coming in, you can use prep tool for that. uh, we have a question from Connie. Can you show in D2L? Connie, not at the moment, but this is something definitely we can discuss later. And Leonara, I believe this answered your question as well, the option on prep tool compared to the APIs. And we have another question. So I can do everything with just the APIs, or I need prep tool also. So prep APIs will do the tagging for you. But if you want to review the tagging done by prep, you would need prep tool to review, make sure if it's accurate or not. So
Hi,
that
Shubham,
review
can
and
I
fixing if
add?
it's needed, that is
Sorry,
something you can do with prep. Yes,
Shubham, can I add to this?
of course.
I would really say the APIs offer a route for faster tagging. They are not a gold standard for full remediation. So the gold standard for full remediation is to use a tool like Prep to do the last mile checks and ensure that it's indeed accessible for an end user. Or you could use a different tool as well. So it's not entirely necessary to only use Prep. We, of course, combine it with the Prep APIs for a better user experience. But essentially, the gold standard for PDF document remediation is to do a final pass of some manual checks, because otherwise, you don't have the assurance that someone who is using a screen reader entirely can completely rely on just the AI tagged output, because while our AI is very good, it's not perfect. So I just want to add that as well.
Great. Thanks, Vijay. We have a question from Kevin. What is difference in prep auto tagging? How are you comparing the accuracy towards accessibility? So Kevin, prep's auto tagging, it's far more accurate when you want to compare it with Adobe, the reading order, list detection tagging, table of content detection tagging, footnotes, references, images, all of these type of and tables as well, of course. So all of these type of content is something that prep auto tags in a much greater accuracy. And also all text can also be automatically created as the document is being auto tagged. We have a question from Lonara. Can I do multiple documents with just the prep tool, or I will still need the API? Lonara, yes. So prep tool allows you to upload multiple documents at once. The standard limit set is 10 documents, but that can be scaled as per your needs as well. But yeah, you can do the bulk tagging with both. We have a question from Jimmy. Can you subscribe to Prep API without Prep pricing? So yes, you can subscribe just to Prep APIs if you need it. Pricing is something that we can definitely get back to you on. We do have a few more minutes till we wrap up today's session. But thank you for asking such engaging questions. We're really happy to answer all your questions. Of course, if you need more information, you can reach out to us via email. And let me just post. You can, of course, go to our website and check us out, but I can also post my email in the chat here so we can quickly have a conversation and also schedule a demo if needed. And we have a question. So alt tagging can be done with tagging, or do I need the additional complex at tagging? Leonara, does your question relates to alt text creation? So if yes, the alt text tagging can be done with the tagging as well. By default, it is not enabled in anyone's prep account. That's an additional uh, additional specification that we put into your prep account, but with APIs, it can be additional, like directly put in when the document is being tagged. So alt text tagging can be done directly when you're auto tagging the document as well. I know you all would be interested in the pricing as well. But yeah, of course, reach out to us via email. My email is in the chat. We'd be happy to discuss pricing, understand your structure you're looking for, and making sure the APIs can be embedded in the best way possible. So another question, but I have to pay for the alt text tag. Yes, Alanara, you would have to pay for the alt text creation. Again, the structure is something that we can discuss after the webinar. Like how the APIs are structured for all text creation. That is something that we can definitely discuss after the webinar. Great. I think we are almost done with the questions, but thank you for staying with us till the end of the session. It was really exciting to answer your questions. Thank you for keeping the session engaging as well. We are really excited to see your interest in prep APIs and also the integrations that we showed. Yes, we are agile, we are flexible. Make sure that if you have additional questions, ask your questions to the email or in the chat here. But thank you again for your time today. Our team will be in touch with you with the recording of the session and an accessible version of the deck, also with the FAQs, the questions that were asked today. Thanks again, everyone, and I hope you have a great day and a great weekend ahead.